Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I also do a bunch of other content in my Discord. I also post updates here with all the news that comes out. I do random takes as well. You can talk strategy here and stuff like that. It's a really, really great place to be, in my opinion. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so on Twitter at ToryLangley1992. So, also thought I'd mention if you are interested in joining my Discord, where I have in-depth content going over the slate, player pools for cash and tournaments, stuff like that. I'll have a link to that down below. I also give my takes on the slate, private videos. I give you a core of 4 to play. You can see here. I give a video. I also give you takes. Look at this. Okogie is the worst play on the slate. I absolutely nailed Okogie being the worst play on the slate. He plays 8 minutes. We got news that Monty Williams was going to change up the rotation and give Ross and Warren run. The field did not recognize it. They did not recognize it. I was all over it. I do digging all day on Twitter. I read articles all freaking day to try to find every bit of edge that I can find, and it worked out absolutely massive today with the Koji. Worst play on the slate, in my opinion, and the people who played him got punished. So, if you were on Reddit, I made a Reddit update about it. If you were in Discord, it worked out massively. So, Discord link will be down below, and I can give you a preview, like give you player pools, updates on the Suns situation, stuff like that. So yeah, really, really good place to be, in my opinion. So let's go over my lineups from tonight. So I had a really great night tonight. As you can see, I absolutely nuke Call of Duty. If you play CSGO, if you play Call of Duty, I don't give content for it, but if you're in my Discord, you can ask me questions about that. You can just see here. I absolutely nuked it. Showdown's been going great the past 2 days with NBA. It's just been a phenomenal stretch. Main slate went well. It's been phenomenal. The core that I had for Showdown was Jokic, Booker, Payne. I'm not going to go over my lineup, but you can see I just absolutely crushed. The main slate core that I have is Cameron Payne, Nikola Jokic, Devin Booker, Bruce Brown, just absolute nukes besides campaign. And then Tobias Harris, massive foul trouble to cost me all the money. Booker, foul trouble to cost me all the money. But let's go over the slate. I hope you guys had a good night tonight. Early lock tomorrow, so don't miss it. Don't sleep in. So yeah, let's go over the slate. All right, so this is obviously the least appealing game on the slate, pace-wise, defensively, matchup-wise, etc., and stuff like that. So that could play in a little bit to how you build your lineups, but let's go over it one by one. Jalen Brunson at the top at 8.3K. I think it's a solid play. He's going to play 40 minutes. He's going to stuff the stat sheet. He's their clear go-to guy right now. So okay rebounder, going to stuff the stat sheet, going to play 40-plus minutes. I find nothing wrong with him. I think he's a very solid play here once again at 8.3K. I think Randall's solid too at 7.8K. I know the price came up, but finally had a good game. I think might go over owned because of it, but I think, Randall, Brunson both look good at the top. I do prefer Brunson to Randall though. RJ Barrett at 6'7", it seems like Thibs wants to give him minutes right now. So I like his ceiling for tournaments. Just be careful. He does have a lower floor when he's not hitting shots, but I do like the ceiling for tournaments, but he could burn you. But it seems like Thibs wants to play him close to 40 minutes, so he's definitely in play. Not a priority for me, but if I have like 6.7K remaining, I'm completely okay clicking on RJ Barrett's name. Now, would I rather play like Draymond Green over RJ Barrett? Absolutely, but I'm fine with it. I'm fine with RJ Barrett. Josh Hart, 6K, didn't close last game, but still played around 30 minutes. Definitely an outlier performance from him. I think he's going to be a little bit over-owned because of it. I don't love him. I don't hate him, but another just fine play. He's not going to get 9 assists again, but he is a guy that's going to stuff the stat sheet, so that's good. They did close with Grimes. I think there is a chance they could close with Hart. They could close with Grimes. Whatever the game script requires is going to happen. So he's going to play around 30 minutes regardless. So a fine play. Doesn't stand out to me, but just okay, in my opinion. Don't love it, don't hate it, but fine. Mitchell Robinson at 5'6", him, Hart, kind of going to split the center minutes, but Mitch will play more. It seems like Thibs wants to give Mitch around 30 minutes. He got into massive foul trouble last game. He lost out on about 8 to 9 minutes, so he would have played about 30 minutes if he didn't stay out of foul trouble. I wished he was a bit cheaper, but he'll probably be very, very low owned at 5.6K, and he does have 40 fantasy point upside. So I'm always interested in Mitch for GPPs. I just wished he was cheaper, but I do like the ceiling on Mitch for tournaments. If I was playing 20 lineups, 150 lineups, I would definitely be over the field on Mitch Robinson. But just know he's always infallible. He will burn you more often than he will help you. So just be ready there. And then with the rotation, they ran such a tight rotation. It's impossible to go to anyone off the bench outside of Hartenstein, Quentin Grimes. Like I said, I don't know if they close with Grimes again. I think minutes-wise for him, he probably plays around 18 to 20 regardless. He really needs the minutes to get there. His usage rate with Randall, with Brunson is just absolutely terrible. So I'd be a bit careful there, but he's playable. And then Hartenstein, I do kind of like at 3.8K. I think we get around 15 or so minutes from him. Sometimes he will close and play more. Sometimes Mitchell Robinson will get into foul trouble and he'll play more. That happened last game. He did well for his price tag. So I think Hartenstein's actually an okay to solid value play on this slate with not a lot of value. Actually, there is value. I prefer Schroeder, Vanderbilt way over Hartenstein, but Hartenstein's fine. All right, Jimmy Butler expected to play. Caleb Martin, pretty sure he's going to play. So we're just going to go over assuming they're all in. So Jimmy Butler at the top. I mean, it's up to you on what you think his health is going to be. Assuming he's full go, which I expect him to be full go, I think he's a great tournament play. The same thing with Embiid. Nobody wanted to play Embiid today because of the injury. I have a feeling that's going to happen tomorrow with Jimmy Butler. So I think Butler's a great tournament play if he's going to be low owned tomorrow, which I would assume he will be. I think everyone's going to play AD over him. I think people are going to play LeBron over him. I think people are going to play Steph over him. So I like Butler quite a bit for tournaments, but could burn you if he's not fully healthy. But yeah, like Butler quite a bit for tournaments. With Butler back, I'm not as high on Bam Adebayo at 8K, but still fine to me. And then this is where it gets just tricky. So the guys that I feel the best about are Gabe Vincent and Kyle Lowry here once again. With Butler in, Gabe Vincent's usage rate is absolutely atrocious, but Spoelstra trusts him, so he's going to play pretty big minutes regardless. I think he's fine. I personally prefer Kyle Lowry between the two just because he's a much better point per minute guy, and I think he gets mid-20s to around 30 regardless. So give me Kyle Lowry over Gabe Vincent all day long, but I think both are pretty safe. Kevin Love with Butler in. It's a minutes thing. I don't know how much he'll play. I think there's a chance he could play 22. I think there's a chance he could play 12. I really don't know. So just a tournament play for me only. And now he's priced up to almost 5K. And then I really don't know with these other guys. So Max Strus, Duncan, they're going to go with the hot hand between these two. So I would not play either together. They negatively correlate with each other. I would not. If you were playing 150 lineups or 20 lineups or even in your single entry, I would make a rule in your optimizer to only max one of Max Strus and Duncan Robinson. I would definitely make that rule. I prefer Strus to Robinson, but both have a ceiling when they're hitting their shots. Minutes, completely up in the air. I think Strus has the better path to more minutes. He could play 20, he could play 35. I would not be shocked with either outcome. So strictly tournament only for me. Same with Duncan. Obviously, I think minutes-wise for him, he could play 10, he could play 25. So strictly tournament only for these two guys. And that'll do it for the Miami Heat. Let's go over the Warriors. So we're going to have to monitor starting lineup here. We're going to have to monitor the health of Kevon Looney. So Steph Curry at the top, I think is interesting. I think people watch that game. I think, Vanderbilt's done a great job on Steph Curry. So it's going to come down to ownership for me because I don't like ever playing a chalky Steph Curry just because the floor is low with him, but the ceiling is just tremendous. I know Vanderbilt's done a great job on him, but he does have that 60-plus fantasy point upside in his arsenal. So, I think he's a good tournament play for me. Could you get there in cash? I think you can, but I'd like him quite a bit for tournaments, just for that ceiling. Clay, Wiggins, Draymond. Let's go over assuming Kevon Looney starts. If that is the case, I think Klay Thompson's my favorite secondary Warrior, just because I like the ceiling the most on him. I think Draymond Green would be the safest of the bunch and be a solid play. And then assuming Kevon Looney isn't on a limit, I personally think their best chance to win is to keep going small. So I'm a bit wary with Kevon Looney and his minutes. I think he'll play 25 minutes regardless. But like I said, if you're only getting 25 minutes from Kevon Looney at 6.3K, it's like, you kind of want more minutes, right? So I personally think if you think Kevon Looney plays 30 minutes, I really like him. I think they go small. I think Kevon Looney probably plays around 25 minutes, and they go more to like Poole and stuff like that, Dante, etc. But we'll look at the rotation in a sec. So it's tough. It's really tough. I like Poole a lot at 5.1K. Like I said, he got in a massive foul trouble last game, lost out a ton of minutes due to the blowout. I think he plays 22 to 25 minutes regardless. Obviously, he's a solid point per minute guy. So 5.1K, I do like Poole a lot. And then Kevon Looney, it's going to be ownership for me. I think their best chance to win, like I said, is to go small. So if Looney plays 30 minutes, I think he's a very good play. If he plays 25, not so good. And then Draymond Green, if Looney starts, I think is solid. Definitely a downgrade, but solid. And then Wiggins is just there for me. And then looking at the rotation, don't look at Dante's and Moody's minutes. They played all the fourth due to the blowout. I think normally we get like 15-ish for both, which makes them fine darts. And then GP2 is a DMP until the blowout, so I wouldn't play Gary Payton. Now let's talk about it if Looney doesn't start. If Looney doesn't start, I absolutely love Draymond Green. He will be in my lineup if Looney doesn't start. I absolutely love Draymond if he doesn't start. And then if JaMychal Green starts, he's playable, and then I'd feel even better about Jordan Poole, and I would like Jordan Poole quite a bit. Lakers. So I think AD looks great. He's probably my favorite spend up on the slate here. No strong takes here. I think he looks great. I think LeBron's the pivot. I think he's fine. D'Lo, Reeves to me, both very solid plays in the mid-range once again. I think they want to play Schroeder. They want to play D'Lo. They want to play Reeves. They want to play Vanderbilt. They want to play LeBron. They want to play AD. Those are the guys that they want to play here. Rui shot the ball very, very well. He got extended because of it. I don't think his minutes are secure at all. We did see Troy Brown basically X'd out of the rotation, so that's pretty important. That could help Rui. I don't know if they do that again here. And we also didn't see Wenyen Gabriel. So that is definitely something to note here. So D'Lo, Reeves, good plays. Rui, if he's going to be popular, I think is absolutely fish food with the uncertainty with his minutes. If he's low owned, absolutely fire up some Rui. If I knew Rui is going to play 25 minutes tomorrow, he'd 100% be in my lineup. I just don't know if he does. And then I like Schroeder. I like Vanderbilt a good amount here once again. They're going to use Vanderbilt and Steph Curry. I think we get 25 minutes or so from him. Not the best point per minute guy alongside AD, but we need value on the slate, so I like Vanderbilt. I like Schroeder once again. They want to play him. I think we get 22 at least minutes from him. Another good value play to me. So that's going to wrap up the video, guys. I hope you guys had a great night, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.